Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. So this is going to be a little bit of a different episode today. I usually talk about cars, but this time I'm going to be talking about car guys and gals, car enthusiasts. I happened to notice an article in Psychology Today about a study performed by a professor and psychologist, Julie Aitken Schermer, from the University of Western Ontario in Canada. By the way, she doesn't look very happy to me, my opinion only. Anyway, the study was entitled, and the article was entitled, "Who Wants a Loud Car? Those higher in sadism and psychopathy," meaning a psychopath, may be more drawn to, quote, disruptive cars. Now, she conducted a pilot study to assess the demographic and personality characteristics that predict an individual's desire to make their vehicle louder by customizing their muffler or exhaust system. So, you would think this is kind of a weird study. Does she specialize in car people or in cars or transportation related? What drew her to this study? And I think what it was strictly an agenda item for her, because in the article it said, Western University professor says noise pollution from illegal cars needs to be taken seriously. She complained of certain cars that rumble by as she walked her dog just south of the campus. Quote, "Every day we come across these loud cars and pickup trucks and motorcycles that are backfiring and I get startled," she said. "My dog was startled. I see the animals run away that are on the trees and squirrels on the ground. They are so scared." So it's kind of weird. So based on that, based on her, I guess, dislike for loud cars, she decided to do a study. Schumer said the issue of noise pollution from illegal car meets needs to be taken more seriously. It's why she completed this study and plans to expand on the study. So again, she basically wants to go after loud cars, car people, people that like cars. So now the next question is, what was the methodology she used? Who were the people that she studied? And what questions did she ask? And how did she come upon her conclusions? So the participants, who would you think would be participants in this kind of a study? Would it be people, that she would go to like one of the Concours d'Elegance car shows or just a regular car show? Would she go to Cars and Coffees? Would she put out an inquiry asking people to, get in touch with her so she can talk to them about their car habits? No. Did she even go to a street takeover and talk to those guys? No. She used a sample of 529 undergraduate business students that were, the mean age was 18 years old. So, many of these people probably have never even owned a car. So they're asking the questions, she's asking questions of these people for their opinions. And she used what's called a car scale. And she interviewed these people and asked specific questions. And the questions, basically when she asked the questions, instead of like yes or no answers, it was basically on a scale of, I think it was 1 to 5 or something similar. And she asked them 3 questions. The questions are, my car is an extension of what makes me a person. That's the first question. So then they would rate their answers, I think based on a 1 to 5 scale. Second question, I think loud cars are really cool. And again, 1 to 5 scale. And thirdly, I hope it is the 1 to 5 scale. And then thirdly, if I could, I would make my car louder with muffler modifications. So again, you're basically asking these 18-year-olds on their opinions. And is this a wide-ranging demographic? Is this a bunch, different ages and different demographics, different walks of life that are into cars? No, it's a bunch of business students. So it's a very, very narrow demographic. And so she's basing her results on that. And now there's a second set of questions, which she would then correlate with the first set of questions. And the second set of questions they're called short, dark, tetrad scale. Hope that's the right pronunciation, tetrad. So the participants also completed the short, dark, tetrad questionnaire, and the elements within the questionnaire, the questions basically would rate them on their Machiavellianism or controlled manipulation of others, on their psychopathy or seeing how much of a psychopath they are based on, and matching their answers here to the answers they gave to the car questions. And again, psychopathy is the impulsive cruelty to others. And then thirdly, sadism, defined in the dark tetrad as everyday sadism, involving the enjoyment some individuals experience watching others being harmed or inflicting pain and suffering on others. Unbelievable. So this is how she rates us car enthusiasts if we like loud cars, based on these 18-year-olds, the questions they answer, and then correlating that with the dark tetrad traits that she asked them about. Unbelievable. So when she put all this together, she found, here's the quote again from the Psychology Today article. We found that it was sadism and psychopathy predicting who wants to modify their mufflers, who feels more connected to the vehicles, and who thinks loud cars are really cool. Schermer told the CBC News. So, unbelievable. It seems, she said, it seems to be this callous disregard for other people's feelings and their reactions. That's the psychopathy coming out of it. And also, they probably get a kick out of enjoying other people getting startled. So this is how she how she judges us, the people that, again, car enthusiasts that like loud cars. She then goes on to say, the personality profile I found with our loud mufflers are also the same personality profiles of people who illegally commit arson. So if we like loud cars, we also would tend to be people that would commit arson. Is this unbelievable or what? And by the way, there are different types of loud cars and different types of people who like the different types of loud cars. For example, there are people like myself who like a V8 engine because you just love that symmetric sound of the exhaust. And also I have a supercharged Hellcat, and it's kind of a concerto of exhaust, beautifully tuned exhaust, the supercharger whine, everything in concert that I just totally love. And by the way, it's not loud for the sake of loud and loud for the sake of me wanting to, go through an intersection and scare people because it's loud. I would prefer to go down a quiet country road and just listen to it myself. So her whole premise is ridiculous. So in any event, that's the conclusion she came to. Now, as we know, I can compare this also to different types of music. There are people that like Beethoven and Bach versus rock and roll, especially when rock and roll first came out in the late 50s. And the rock and roll enthusiasts were probably thought of as, maybe psychopaths in those days, as deviants. But as we know, it's just a different preference for music. And that's the same with cars as well. So, her conclusions are just ridiculous. They're narrow-minded, they're short-sighted, and it's obvious she's not working in the real world. She has a premise, and she wants to basically prove her premise, and she did so by asking a very narrow range of people a specific set of questions and comparing that with another set of deviant questions and putting the two together. By the way, I'm sure this person does not like internal combustion engines. Again, I'm being judgmental, but that's exactly what she's doing in her study. But I'm guessing she doesn't. And I think this is just another example of the war on internal combustion engines. I'm sure this professor, if she did have to concede that citizens should be mobile and self-sufficient and be allowed to own their own private vehicles, that she would want everybody to use EVs and not internal combustion engines. Probably another reason she doesn't like the noise from internal combustion engines, among many other things. So it also brings up a much larger issue as well. These psychology professors, or basically any professors in their own silo in academia, when they come up with these studies and so forth, and they come up with their conclusions not based on real world evidence, but based on their methodology, it just makes you question all of these studies. And, I never would have come upon this study. It's not like I usually browse publications like Psychology Today to see what the latest psychological study is and maybe do some peer reviewing. No, it's that I happen to see this in the news headline, this car-related headline that was just, very nonsensical to me, where it was casting, the conclusions were casting aspersions on me and all my fellow car enthusiasts, all of you, I'm sure, most of the people that listen to this podcast. So, it kind of gives us a little window into what's happening in the world of academia. So that's basically it. There's a lot of content here for you to comment on. So please comment below. Let me know what you think about all this. Let me know what you think of her study. Let me know if you think maybe she's right in her assessment of those of us who like loud cars. And or is this an insult and an attack on those of us, with whom she could never really understand? Is this a gross, generalization? I'm sure she doesn't have many folks who are into classic cars or muscle cars or, performance cars. Again, just a guess on my part. But again, there's a lot that can be said in the comments, so please have a field day and let me know what you think. So that's it for now. If you haven't already done so, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Those things help a lot. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Take care.